What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this video here, we're going to be taking a look at Professor X and actually comparing him with and without his uniform to see how much better this uniform actually makes him, if any, or if the uniform bonus is basically all that's contributing to the difference between his uniform form and not uniform form. So we have his modern look and his classic look here, where he's sitting around in his wheelchair or his hover chair kind of thing. So if we take a look here, they didn't change really much at all with the uniform from his modern look. Basically, the main change that we have is we now have a damage increase for one attack here on the third skill, so the 30% right there. And then we have the increased mind damage, of course, from the uniform. And the other big change is going to be the cooldown times on his fifth, fourth, and I think third skill as well. Third skill might be the same, but the fourth and the fifth for sure. This one used to be 20 seconds, and this one used to be 18 or 19 seconds, something like that. I think it was like 3 seconds less on each of the skills now. So those are the two main differences. So we should be able to use our attacks more often with the uniform here. And we should, if we play well enough, combine that third skill to get that extra 30% damage increase on top of our proc, which is actually a little difficult to do if you are just using a damage proc with Professor X here. If you have like an activation, say a CTP of Judgment or Rage, then of course it's going to be a lot easier for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at my build here on Professor X. We do have some Urus and a few Odin's Blessings on him. For his skills, we have all of his skills fully leveled up. For the Ice Await set, we have a fully awakened Power of Angry Hulk. And for me, I have a CTP of Energy on Professor X here. So let's go ahead and compare him. I think I want to do the comparison against Null, because right there kind of just show off his raw damage. We don't have to worry about any of the all defense down or mind resist down or anything like that. We can just get an idea of the raw damage, the difference between classic and modern Professor X. So let's start off with the modern look here. Hop over to Null and see what kind of damage we do with this look, and then we'll move over to the uniform. Alright, so here we are over at Null. We're going to be using Scarlet Witch lead right there, 45% energy attack, and then we have Valkyrie for her tier 2 passive. We just got some regular damage strikers here. We don't need any healing strikers for Professor X here because he does have healing on his 5th skill, so he is self-sufficient there. So let's see what we can get here in terms of damage. Okay. As you can see, the damage looks pretty good. So let's continue through here. Let's try not to get hit by that. And let's miss the 4th skill, of course. I did not mean to do that. And did we not even proc there? Are you kidding me? I did like 10 runs with each look. 10 runs with this look and 10 runs with the uniform. And I think I've only had that happen one other time where he did not proc for the whole rotation. And all of those test runs, I did let him get snared there for that first snare phase or whatever, for that first phase where the symbiotes can snare you. The second phase, though, I did dodge that every time, just to be consistent. So let's dodge that. Okay, I'm going a little too quickly there. I'm not getting that 4th skill in, which actually gives you a decent portion of damage. And this part can be quite annoying. You kind of want to use a tier 3 here when he's doing that kind of like tentacle slam, because those will stun you even if you have invincibility up. It does not matter. If you have invincibility, you're still getting stunned, so it's very frustrating. Alright, let's go here, get another. There we go, that was a better proc. Oh, I didn't dodge that one. Alright, you're going to be doing this again, so we wait for it to pop up. Oh, he didn't pop up. Alright. Go into our tier 3. There we go. Now we're getting some good damage in. We are kind of on pace for what I normally see. Let's see. Can we get a nice proc here? No, we can't. This is kind of the opposite of what I was seeing before. I was having more difficulty proccing with his uniform, and now for the video right here, I'm having issues proccing with his base form, or base look. But anyway, we phase changed around the 3 minute mark, and what I was seeing for an average basically with his with this look here was what, 3 minutes and 10 seconds would be the average, with the best being 3 minutes and 15 seconds at the change. That was the best I happened to get. And right here was actually the lowest I happened to get. So I was getting 2 minutes 58, 59 were the lowest that I was seeing. So this is kind of on par with my bad runs that I had. So now we're going to go ahead and equip his uniform and see how much of a difference we actually get. Alright, so here we are back with his uniform equipped. We're going to be using the same team, of course, to be consistent, the same strikers. And there's a few different ways that you can play him with this uniform. You kind of want to get that damage boost from the third skill on your damage skill, or the skill you're going to proc on, which can be a little annoying. So sometimes you can skip that if you're having issues, but generally I like to try to throw it in. So I do 4, 3, 5 to take advantage of the damage transfer on 3. But if you're having issues, just go ahead and do 3, 4, 5 like I was doing with the base look for Professor X here, or his non-uniformed look, and you still get, of course, that all attack, all defense boost. You just don't get that extra 30% kind of proc bonus for the skill. So let's see what we can get here for the damage. And the fourth skill didn't even go off that time. I did try to do the fourth skill first. With this uniform here, you can actually do the fourth skill a lot quicker. You can cancel it a lot quicker, it seems like, and still get the effects. Whereas without the uniform, you do have to actually let the skill play out for, you know, just like half a second. So you can't like instant cancel it. You just have to do a very, very slight delay instant cancel. Whereas this one, it seems like you can just instant cancel. But this is what happens most of the time. Right there is you accidentally proc on the fourth skill and then you miss out on your damage. So that's what's kind of annoying. And then when I'm doing the tier 3, I just do 3, 4, 5 tier 3. Wow, that was a late proc. What is going on with my procs? Does this happen just because I'm talking instead of not? Because it's so inconsistent compared to when I'm just doing the test runs on my own. But I guess maybe I'm more focused. I'm not talking as much. So I don't know. It's just really, really annoying when I turn on the camera. There's some camera here. When I start recording, none of the procs work like they were before, before I started recording. So it's very annoying. Okay, there we go. Now we can see some of the big damage right here. You can see how much damage his tier 3 actually does when you kind of line up everything properly. And as you can tell, we're not like delaying as much. We're not running around or stalling for time nearly as much as we were without the uniform. And that's just, oh my gosh, we got knocked backwards. And that's just because of the better cooldown on the skills, and that was on the lower end of what I normally see for the uniform. So from all the tests with the uniform, my average was around 3 minutes and 20 seconds for the change, and the best being 3 minutes and 32 seconds was the best I had, and the worst I had was actually right here. This is the worst I had, was 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I did see other 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I've seen it was like 3 minute 14 through 15. So I think it was like 2 15s and 1 14. So this will be another 14 that I saw. So this is on the very low end of what I've normally seen with the uniform here. So on average, he is about 15 seconds quicker with this uniform, and at best, if we take like the lowest, the other one, the best of this one, he's 30 seconds faster, but 15 seconds is pretty much what we'll say is the difference between the two uniforms. So 15 seconds quicker, is that just down to the uniform itself? I think it is. So just, you know, the actual all attack bonus from the uniform and that 10% mind damage, I think is the only difference between them. I don't think his skills are actually hitting harder with this uniform. I don't think that change really makes that much of a difference. If you can weave this in more effectively, then of course you can start getting some more damage if you can always do this. I don't think on any of my runs that I did with Professor X here with the uniform was I flawless. So by that meaning I always was able to get 4 into 3 into 5 and actually have it proc on 5. I always had a few rotations where I'd proc on 4 right before 5. I had a few where I couldn't get the tier 3 to line up each time, so it would proc right when I was going on to 5 to cancel into the tier 3. So a lot of things were throwing it off. So I didn't have any perfect runs with the uniform here, but I did have perfect runs without the uniform. So his base look right here, and that's just because I'm not worrying about the third skill as much to try to line that up anywhere. I'm just instant canceling the third skill and then going 4-5. So it's just easier with the proc on his base look. Just because, like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of everything the uniform is giving me. I could do the exact same rotation with the uniform as I do without the uniform, because that still works just fine. I could just not worry about transferring the damage from the third skill and just do 3-4-5 just like I did with the uniform. And for that, I generally got that lower time that you just saw right there, where I get like 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So that would be on par with the base look for my best runs. So the worst run, or actually when I try specifically for that rotation, I shouldn't say that's the worst run, because that's kind of like the average. So they're about the same when I do that. So the only difference between the uniform is if I'm transferring over the third skill successfully, then he's doing about 15 seconds quicker in terms of the damage. If I don't do that, then the damage is pretty much even. So yeah, not a huge difference. I thought there was going to be more of a difference here. Of course, when I level up the uniform from normal to mythic, we're going to get even more, because then we get more of the uniform bonus here for the all attack, and of course that'll start making a bit more of a difference. But for right now, I mean, just that normal for the uniform, they're very, very similar. You're probably going to see more of a return with the uniform if you have a judgment or rage on him, because then you're not going to have the issue that I've been talking about with trying to get that third skill to line up with your damage proc. You can just do the skill order that you need to do to get that damage proc to transfer over from the third skill, and it doesn't matter if your CTP activated before that, because hey, it's activated. That's what you want. So yeah, I might actually give him a CTP of maybe judgment. I think I don't know what I have an extra of, because I have right now in my inventory 1 rage and 1 judgment, but one of those is going to go to Mephisto. I'm not sure which one. I'm thinking I might actually just give Mephisto the judgment, and then I might give the rage to Luna and take judgment off of Luna, and then I can give judgment to Professor X here. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any experience of with Professor X with judgment and with rage, and know which one is like a clear cut, better CTP for him, or if they perform about even. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. I think from what I've seen, judgment does perform better, but I don't think it was performing that much better, like like stage difference wise. So it's not like I can only do like a stage 9 with judgment, and then rage would allow me to go to like 11 or 12 kind of thing. I think they're pretty much similar in terms of what stage they'll allow you to do, but I could be wrong on that, so feel free to let me know in the comments below. But this was just a kind of quick comparison between Professor X with and without his new uniform here, to see what it actually did, because all of these new uniforms except for Iron Man with this update, and well, that's actually all Iron Man, got any kind of changes to their skill animations. So it was all just kind of effect changes, like extra energy attack, extra all attack, extra mind damage. We didn't get any changes to actual skills themselves in terms of the animations to do more hits, to change up how they look, anything like that. So that was a little disappointing about those kind of changes with the uniforms. And yeah, well, that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.